The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. It's time for the Low Fact Podcast. That's kind of funny. Trying to make the bells go and you keep on missing.
What is my problem?
I guess you're no good under pressure.
I don't think that's what it is.
Oh, so you think you're good under pressure?
No, I'm losing like motor function. Maybe I've got like cerebral palsy or something like that.
Well, that's a hell of a thing to say.
I hope I don't.
Said the superstitious guy who... No, I think I'm superstitious.
You're super superstitious.
Well, I can't help it.
Why is that?
Maybe I was a shaman in a past life. I don't know.
You got yes, I believe that.
So,
Mr. Lucid Dreamer.
So the propaganda stuff, you didn't think it was propaganda. Well, we're surrounded by propaganda.
Are we going to talk about propaganda?
Well, indirectly. We're going to talk about stuff that we've talked about before, and that's how incredibly easy it is to manipulate us, the human species. So easy that it's almost pathetic. And if there are any hardcore people out there sitting there thinking, man, I can't be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
I say, oh yeah? Watch Bambi. The cartoon?
Oh yeah, the movie.
Yeah. Or any movie for that matter. Or the news.
Yeah.
Or any form of entertainment. And if you haven't bit stuff hook, line, and sinker, because I know y'all have,
It's just entertainment.
You got manipulated by static 2D drawings.
Well, who didn't cry during Bambi? I mean, come on.
I didn't.
It's so sad.
Yes, I agree.
Actually, most Disney movies are kind of disturbing in that way. Dumbo, the same thing.
But it has a happy ending and all that stuff. But think about it. You're being manipulated.
What is it about? What does Disney like to knock off the parents? That's in a lot of Disney movies. It was in The Land Before Time as well. You haven't seen The Land Before Time?
I haven't seen Land Before Time, but
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I'm just sitting here puzzled by this tangent that you're going off of.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And that's not to say that I don't go off on tangents, because I do. I am like the HRH of going off on tangents. But the tangents that you go off on are truly mystifying. They're so non-tangential. I think they should be called skew.
Skew. There you go with that word skew again.
Askew.
Skew or askew?
Well, they're called skew lines.
They are?
Yes, in math. But it is askew.
Mathematician.
I wish I were a mathematician. Do you know how much?
Wait, so what is a skew?
They're two parallel lines that never touch.
That's not a skew?
Well, they're two lines that would be intersecting if they touched, but they're parallel.
So they're parallel forever.
Well, all parallel lines are parallel forever, but
I don't think you can draw a line that straight.
But skew lines are lines that would be intersecting if they were on the same plane.
Okay.
But they're parallel, so they never intersect. Which is different from a tangent, because a tangent is a line that touches a circle or intersects a circle at one point.
My brain is like, ugh.
So it couldn't it can't bisect or intersect with the circle, but it touches.
And if you're still with us, you're probably a mathematician.
If you're still with us and a mathematician, you're sitting there going, God, that guy's stupid. He has no idea what math is.
I don't think so.
Sure.
You speaking Chinese now?
I can be, but
say something in Chinese. Mandarin.
No.
Man. Why not?
But I'm very proud of my my PhD in mathematics from Flaming Rainbow State.
You truly have a liberal arts education.
Speaking of Flaming Rainbow State, I wanted to tell a story. A story about when I was in college. I worked part-time at an athletic club, and one of my friends that was working there also And he was studying organic chemistry because he wanted to go to med school. And one of the doctors was like, "Hey, what's that you're studying there?" And my buddy was like, "Oh, it's organic chemistry." And this doctor was like, "Wow, and you're only in college?" And he's like, "Yep." It's like, "Damn, when I was in med school, my organic chemistry book was only like 100 pages thick." And, my buddy's organic chemistry book is like,
Probably 900 pages.
several hundred pages, 400 or 500 pages. So my buddy, he's like, "Really? Where'd you go to med school?" Thinking this guy went to Flaming Rainbow State. Turns out the doc went to Harvard.
Why are books longer, though?
Because there's more to learn. And there's more pictures.
I think it would have been better to have an education when there was less to learn.
Well, yeah, but then, I don't know. I don't think that we've really advanced knowledge.
But that's my point. It's like, you don't need more books. You just need good books.
Well, my point was, I don't think that knowledge has advanced that much.
Yeah.
We've just made the books thicker.
But there's more bullshit in the books.
Yeah, because have you tried that? Have you tried that 8th grade test from like 1900 or whatever it was?
No, I'd be too afraid to.
That pops up online and shit every now and then.
That's probably really difficult.
I looked at it. I was just like, my goodness.
What has happened?
I think we finally just kind of acknowledged that we're all pretty stupid. And easily manipulated. And that's the funny thing, right? We're all really stupid and easily manipulated, but all of us think that we're incredibly smart and not easily manipulated. But evidence would support that we are. Think about the funny stories about like the people that manipulate and con people for a living.
About how easy it is for them to do it?
Well, yeah, like years ago, I guess in the mid 90s, this one police department had the bright idea of, because there are all these open warrants on people, and whenever they try to go to their houses, they're never home.
Right.
So
Because they know the cops are coming.
Well, they know they're cops.
Right.
So one of the early things to do was a police department basically sent out letters to all these open warrant people telling them how they all want a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Want a grand prize. And these are people, these aren't just like, muggers and...
Yeah, some of these are like fraudulent.
They're fraudsters.
They're committing fraud on people.
They're cons.
Right.
I remember the story that I saw from the 90s, I think it was. They had 100 people that they were sending out that had open warrants that always evaded them. Sent them a letter like, "Hey, you want a boat?" And some like 80 or 90 of them showed up looking for their boat to get arrested.
What?
And when they get arrested, they're like, "What about my boat?"
Fucking hell. Well, it's like that thing we watched on HBO, McMillions.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone on that show just seemed like a freaking idiot. I'm like, how are these people perpetrating a fraud and making millions and millions and millions of dollars?
How are these FBI agents that look like they couldn't, rub two matches together to make a fire?
Especially that one guy.
Catching these people. I mean,
I know. The one guy who was really into the whole Hollywood thing. It's just like,
all of them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, a lot of the cops that I used to know would say that, I mean, there's the stories abound. Like the one guy who was evading cops, ran into the woods, and the only reason they caught him was because he had the tennis shoes that lit up in the back. or the cops that chased some guy down an alley and he's gone. They're sitting there, they're just scratching their heads like, "Where'd the guy go? Where'd the guy go?" And one of them, just in exasperation, half joking, yells out, "Marco." And the criminal pops out going, "Polo!"
What? That can't be true.
It was in News of the Weird.
That's just... That makes no sense, bro.
It makes total sense, dude.
No, it makes no sense.
Well, no, it makes no sense if you believe in the narrative that we tell ourselves, because I believe that we want to be deserving of stuff. That's big. That's super big in Asian culture, so much so that if you get a really loathsome or horrible disease, they figure it's just payback from, that's karma.
I don't know what I think about that.
Well, again, that's in a lot of Asian cultures, because a lot of Asian cultures are rooted in Buddhism. But, aside from that we really want to, I do believe we really want to deserve all the good stuff we get. We want there to be some kind of justice and fairness in the universe.
Well, that part I get.
Think of how heartbroken you would be. I mean,
I'm all about deserves.
I think the identity politics people are right, but they're wrong in that who does the rewarding. Identity politics people think that the white people have it so great because they're white.
Yeah.
And white folks just happen to reward each other all the time, blah blah blah. I think that's what identity politics is.
Yeah, that's what we do. As white people, we just sit around and reward each other.
Well, you reward your friends.
Right, and I only have white friends, so.
Actually, I might be incorrect even with that identity politics thing, but I'm going way off thing here. But
I remember you saying to me there is no deserves, dude.
There isn't,
and I was crestfallen.
Well,
I don't know if crestfallen's the right word, but I was like,
I was only repeating what Clint Eastwood said because he said it more eloquently than I did.
In a movie?
Yes, Unforgiven.
He said there is no deserves?
No, deserves have nothing to do with it.
Oh, that's when the guy's dying.
That's when Gene Hackman's like, I don't deserve
this.
I was building a house. And Clint Eastwood's like, well, deserves ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And it's true.
I didn't like that, though.
You don't have to subscribe to it. You don't have to live like you subscribe to it. You could totally disagree with it. You're not going to change my mind. And I don't know that we should be in the business of trying to change each other's minds.
Oh shit!
I mean, we can try. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't try, right? I mean, if I ever have a chance to be one-on-one with a white supremacist, actually, I've had several chances. I've been one-on-one with a lot of them, and they didn't hate me. They didn't hate me as an individual.
They just hated you because you're Asian.
They didn't really hate me. Period. They just figured that people should stick with their own kind.
Yeah.
And I was like, jokes on you.
You guys drinking moonshine?
No. I was sitting there going, jokes on you, fella. We're all the same kind.
What an idiot.
Not necessarily.
To think that people are that different, though.
Well, what do you mean to think that people are that different?
People are people.
Yeah, that's easy. That's kind of like the "I'm not scared of death" statement, though.
People are people.
Right. Yeah, people are people in the academic comfort of a sterile environment where you don't have to deal with everybody else. Right? Death is not a very scary thing when you're kind of sitting there having a beer with your buddy talking into a microphone. But, yeah, I'm not scared of death. Ha 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 ha. But if you're sitting in the middle of a convoy watching bombs go off, then all of a sudden death becomes a little bit more prescient and you're like, well, I am kind of scared. Pucker factor gets like to level 10.
Pucker factor?
You say that like you've never heard the term.
I haven't.
You've never heard of pucker factor?
Nope.
Oh, God.
I guess I run in different circles from you, bro.
Wow.
I ran in some different circles.
I don't know. We're running the same circle now, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I ran in different circles, obviously, before I met you.
No doubt, but...
That would be weird if I was running in your circle before I met you. Right? I mean, that doesn't really make sense.
Sure it does. There are plenty of people that ran in my circle that I'd never met. It's a pretty big circle.
Dude, I've had one beer and I'm like freaking half cut.
Must have been all that weight you lost.
Yeah, I think so.
And yet, your head's still the same size.
It's unfortunate. I got the George Lopez effect going on.
Speaking of which, I mean, some people just need to be kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's not right.
But speaking of which, isn't he like the ultimate asshole, though?
Cunt.
Okay, fine.
Well, yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying he's... No, I'm like, he's an asshole and he's a cunt.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, okay, fine.
If that's true.
That probably is.
So his wife gave him...
A kidney,
and then he divorced her.
I'm sure there's probably more to the story, but that punchline is pretty horrific.
Well, didn't what's her face do the same thing? That pop singer.
What pop singer?
She was with like that guy The Weeknd.
No.
No. I Love You Like a Love Song, Baby. What's her name? Selena Gomez, and she had some weird condition, and then it was the same deal. Like he donated some body part, and then she fucking broke it off with him.
Did he donate a gonad or something? What?
No, I don't know if it was a kidney. It might have been kidney.
Oh.
But I'm like, at what? I mean, if somebody donates a kidney to you, probably really, you shouldn't really break up with them.
No, I think if you're going to break up, you really should.
Even if they donated a kidney to you.
Especially.
Do
you want someone to be with you out of guilt?
Well, no.
Like you're some kind of lost cause. They have to pick you before you get picked last for a pickup game of baseball. Like when you were kids, it's down to you and the kid with super thick Coke bottle glasses and corrective shoes and has no athletic ability.
Pick me.
I was always that kid because I ran with a bunch of older kids.
Uh-huh.
So
you were always the last?
Well, I was 9.
And how old were the kids?
Well, like 12 or 13.
Yeah, but I bet you could hold your own.
I was 9. What 9-year-old can hold his own against a 13-year-old?
Yeah. We used to have a game called Bull Rush where you'd choose somebody to be in the middle, right? And usually it would start off to be a big person. And then you have to run you have to basically get past them. And it's like within a set, it's like a set area and you got to try and jump them or get by them. And if they tackle you, then whoever they tackle gets to stay in the middle, and then you keep picking people and it gets progressively harder to get past the person.
I like King of the Hill better.
What's King of the Hill?
Well, everybody runs up to try to get on the top of the hill, and the guy that's on the top of the hill, you try to take him down. And he's always pushing everybody out.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. We didn't really have any hills, so.
Where are you from, Illinois?
No, I guess there's hills in New Zealand. King of the Hill was not big in New Zealand. Bull Rush was big.
That's like tackle the man with the football. There was actually a more what's the word? Indelicate term for it, but
I wonder if the kids play Bull Rush anymore.
If they do, they don't call it that.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a great name for a game. Are you kidding me?
I was thinking about tackle the man with the football and the indelicate term that it used to be called when I was growing up.
Oh, is it not something you would repeat?
Well, it's called Smear the Queer.
Oh yeah, no.
The kid with the football was the queer, and everybody tried to tackle him until you could strip the football away from him, and then the person with the football is the one that everyone tries to tackle. Why the hell
was it called Smear the Queer?
Well, if you think about it, it had nothing to do with the questionable sexuality.
Right.
It was just you're the odd person out in a group of 11 people. You're the one guy. You're the one person with a football.
Oh, the original meaning of queer, just like gay.
I like the original meaning of gay. I want to bring it back.
Like, I'm so gay.
Have a gay old time.
Yeah, have a gay. Oh yeah, that was the Flintstones.
No, I think it was the Flintstones. All right. I think we are. We've been done, buddy.
Oh, man.